Okay, Sour, where are we today?
We are in Cape Town, South Africa. White bread, brown bread.
Bread, brown bread.
You can't do it.
I can't do it.
White bread, brown bread.
See, that you sound, I don't know.
Do you think I sound South African?
You sound local.
You know, it was a trip to get here. Tell us the trip.
Well, Vancouver to London, London, Johannesburg, Johannesburg, Cape Town. Total time 31 hours.
Yes. A lot of meals we ate on the plane.
Yes, yeah, not doing much. Well, we're enhancing the dad bods, I think. Lots of good South African wine and a lot of good food in South Africa here, that's for sure.
Well, we should say who we're here with. Porsche invited us to come to drive a couple of cars, but the one we're in today is the Panamera, and I have been a huge fan of the Panamera ever since it came out.
Me too. I didn't mind the looks. A lot of people didn't like the looks of it, especially that back end.
And here's what I always used to say to people. A lot of people didn't like the sort of the humpback whale look it had in the back until they drove it. I said, once you drive that car, you will fall in love with it.
Yes, I agree. I totally agree. I think we're going to go to the right here.
Yeah, we're staying on this highway.
Anyways, so we're driving the Panamera, but not just any new Panamera. This is the new E-Hybrid.
Yeah. So you look at the car and you think, well, it looks like a modified version of the old one, but it's not. It's all new. Wheels up, brand new platform, brand new drivetrains, brand new everything. So they smoothed out the look. It looks dynamite now.
It looks way, way, way better. I thought the old one, like I didn't mind the looks. Like I said, once I drove it, it kind of
fell for it.
It kind of grows on you. But this new one, it's like one complete car. It's cohesive. The other one is almost like two people built it. The back end, and the front end, they just didn't belong. But it's way better now.
It's a beautiful looking car, and the E-Hybrid was available with the previous model. And we're driving now on the motorway. I don't know if they call it motorway, and we're doing about 90 kilometers an hour in pure electric mode. And this is so refined. It's such a nice car.
So in case anyone didn't know, the E-Hybrid is not just a regular hybrid, it's a plug-in hybrid.
Yeah.
And for 2018, this is a 2018 model, the battery is bigger now.
But it doesn't take any more space.
No more space, and it's actually no heavier, so it's bigger. The range, 50 kilometers of electric only. And get this, electric, you can go up to 140 kilometers per hour.
On pure electric. And you did that yesterday.
I did that. Right now we're doing 94K.
Yeah.
And it's silent.
Yeah. And the wonderful thing about this car is it has so many different modes. We could literally spend half an hour telling you all of the different variations that you can drive this car. But the basics are E mode. That's just pure electric.
Pure electric.
And then you switch the steering wheel here and you put it into H, and that's hybrid. So then it works like a regular. You own a hybrid.
Yes, I do.
And it works like a regular hybrid. Then you go into sport, and that activates the 2.9 liter bi-turbo V6 engine.
Yep.
So then you've got the engine and the electric going together, and then you go to Sport Plus, and that keeps the engine always on and gives you maximum horsepower and output.
And also,
I'm going back to E because it's so nice and quiet.
It's nice and quiet. But also, when you're in that Sport Plus, it's also charging the battery at its maximum charge as well.
Yeah, because what it wants to do is always have that extra jolt of electricity for when you want it. And it's an amazing accomplishment. And then you add on top of that the adaptive suspension. So you've got air suspension in this car with different settings, and we have it on the Pillowy Cloud version just now. Then you can go to sort of your sport and then your sort of Sport Plus suspension settings, and it is noticeable.
The previous generation, for that electric boost to kind of kick in, you had to actually depress the accelerator past 80%.
Right.
Okay, now the new one, it works right from the get-go, from 0 all the way to 100.
Well, it makes sense because an electric motor has all of that available torque at 0 RPM, so it gives you that boost right out of the gate. And you know what? I'm going to bring up the Tesla comparison because they're both. The Model S is a big car. It's a 4-door hatchback, just like this. Now, if you equipped a Model S with the luxury features that this car has on the inside, actually they can't, because I don't think their cars are luxurious on the inside. It would be the same price, right?
Yeah, well, first of all, let's talk about the inside.
Yeah.
Look at it. This one is
stunning.
It's gorgeous. It's stunning. It's all new. The materials are first rate, hands down. Like this is, but there's something really new that I think it's a little too new for me.
Well, what they have is a massive 12.3-inch screen, which is like ultra high definition.
I like that.
The screen is spectacular.
Yep.
They've got the analog tack in the middle.
Love that.
Okay. And on either side of the tack, you've got two 7-inch TFT screens that are configurable.
Yeah.
So that's sort of the latest stuff. Now, the screen has so many ways to configure it. We've been driving this car for 3 days now,
Yeah.
and we still can't figure out all of the features, but we're getting there. The one thing I don't like is the volume knob is a roller thing
It's a
now.
scrolling thing.
And you can't. There's some things that you can't do when the screen is on, and some you can. It's going to take a while to figure out.
So with a new design, new car, they changed. They introduced this new advanced cockpit design, and what they did is they got rid of that nice row of buttons in the center. I really like those buttons.
I love them.
They're tactile. I need to feel something.
So I think what they're trying to do is mimic sort of smartphones and tablets here. We're used to touching our screens, and they're trying to make the whole center kind of like a screen. I like the buttons myself.
Yeah.
And this is going to show fingerprints, just like your phone or your tablet. They always show fingerprints. You're going to clean it all the time.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I really don't like it.
I don't mind it. I got to say that I've gotten used to it, driving it for a few days now, but I kind of like the old buttons more.
Yeah, I don't know. That sometimes, they think simple is better. Even though there was more buttons, it just seemed more simple than this, right?
Yeah. This is definitely much more complicated. And like I said, we've been driving this for 3 days, and we haven't figured it out. Now, to be honest, we haven't had a one-on-one tutorial on how it all works.
Yeah.
But, a good system should be intuitive, and some of this isn't. But anyway, enough about that. I did want to come back to the whole Tesla thing, because I think that, if you've got an E-Hybrid Panamera, it's the automatic comparison. Similar shape, and when the Tesla can be very expensive, and yes, it has that amazing acceleration that everybody talks about. It goes ludicrous mode and what have you.
It's quick.
It's very quick, but that is a sort of a one-dimensional kind of speed, right? As somebody said the other day, rockets on, rockets off, right? Straight line. But with a Porsche, you get the DNA of Porsche. You get all of the handling, you get a poised ride, and you get a sumptuous luxury interior, and Tesla can't touch this interior, in my opinion. Not even close.
No, yeah, like this. There's so much to this car from the outside, just the curves that it has, and the interior, the sound. There is actually sound, and that's kind of odd. Is even in E mode.
Yeah.
Right now we're in E mode, and there's.
You kind of hear is there an engine running? And you're like, I hear it. And I know why it is because, say, with most electric cars, it's direct drive.
Yeah.
So the electricity goes to the electric motors, turns the electric motor, which turns the wheels. The power goes through an 8-speed PDK transmission. So basically, the electric motor is on the outside of the transmission, right? So even though it's an electric car, it has gears. And I like that.
Yeah.
Because you can hold a gear just like you would with a regular car.
8-speed PDK compared to the previous version that had an 8-speed conventional.
Yeah, Tiptronic.
Right?
Yeah.
So there's something. It's electric and digital, but there's a mechanical element to it.
Yes, and that's what it's kind of like having a watch that's still mechanical. There's something about that. I don't know. I'm not totally ready to let go.
As much as I'm a fan of electric cars.
Yeah.
And I love them, but a plug-in hybrid, for me and for a lot of people, would work really, really well.
Yeah.
The 50-kilometer range for when I'm taking the kids to daycare, it's like 2 kilometers away.
Yeah.
Right? As soon as you start, when you turn that key, it automatically defaults and starts in electric mode.
Yes.
All the time.
And you can pre-condition the car like you can with most electric cars, defrost the windows or set the air conditioning or the heat. So that's something that you can do. With this car as well. So taking the kids to daycare and coming back, you don't have to activate the gas engine.
Yeah, because once you activate the gas engine for these short trips, it goes into a warm-up cycle, and it uses a lot of fuel.
Well, you know this because you have a hybrid, and hybrids, the number one thing is to heat up the engine as quickly as possible so they can switch it off.
Yeah.
Right? And that's when you're using the most fuel, is in that warm-up cycle.
Yeah, and believe it or not, electric cars, love them, but they're not for everyone because they don't work for everyone. You know, not everyone has a place where they can plug it in. Whether you have a detached home, but you park on the street. There's nowhere to park.
That's my situation.
That's your situation there. You know, you're in an apartment building. There might be limited outlets if there are any at all.
Yeah, and the nice thing about this, and I think for some people might plug it in every night, but some people might just start it and drive it like a hybrid. Every day.
Yeah, exactly. And then, so you can drive it like a hybrid every day, but during your day, maybe you're at the mall, at the library, if you see a plug-in.
Take advantage.
Take advantage, park there, plug in, and you use that power. Normally, they're
and plus
free.
you get the better parking spot.
Yeah, so let's talk about the economics of owning this plug-in hybrid.
Okay.
Number one thing.
Well, first of all, how much does it cost?
It's just over $113,000.
Where's my checkbook?
Yes.
But one thing I will say, these cars have the most amazing resale value. If you're looking for resale value in full-size luxury sedans, Panamera, always at the top. So you can buy these and own them for several years, and the resale value is incredible.
And guess what? Depending on where you live, you might qualify for some rebates.
Yeah.
You're a big fan of that.
I don't like the rebates. But in some provinces, you don't get a rebate over a certain amount. I know in British Columbia, it's $70,000. You don't get anything.
Oh.
So.
Anyways, but yeah, $113,000. Believe it or not, this is less than the Panamera 4S.
Right.
And this is all-wheel drive.
Yep.
It's a Panamera. And it's got the E-Hybrid system. And if you combine the power of that V6, the twin-turbo V6, with the electric motor.
How much is it? 4 something, right?
Over 462 horsepower.
Yeah.
And over 500 foot-pounds of torque. That's more than the regular 4S.
Yeah.
And it's less money.
Well, I think they really want, I mean, the Volkswagen Group, which Porsche is part of, is spending so much money on their electrification programs, and they have to get people to start buying these. You know, to have these sitting on the lot and have a huge discount at the end of the year to get rid of them doesn't make sense. So I think what they're trying to do is somebody comes into the showroom and says, okay, there's the S, there's the E-Hybrid. You know what, as you mentioned, it's the same price or even cheaper. That's the one I'll pick.
Oh man, you know, to me it'd be a no-brainer, for sure.
And another thing, some of the research shows in California, where 50% of all electric cars are purchased in the US, by the way, all in California. You know one of the top reasons why people in LA want an electric car?
I know, because this would be the reason why I'd get one too.
What is it?
Going in the carpool lane.
That's it. You can drive in the HOV lane, you get the sticker, and because you've got an electric car with a single passenger, you can go in the carpool lane.
That's a huge benefit if you live in a real congested area, for sure. It's like serious. And in Vancouver, it does qualify to go in that HOV lane.
Many cities are doing that as an incentive to get you to buy an electric car. So, yeah, it's all adding up to, I think, 2 orders. I think coming here for 2 days was a mistake. Yeah, should have been here for much longer.
You know what, though? It'll just make it so much more worth it if we can find some penguins.
Yeah.
See, I've seen penguins in the zoo.
Yeah, I've seen penguins in the zoo, but yeah, I want to see them on the beach.
Yeah, in the wild. Apparently, from what I've read, is that this entire penguin colony, southern South Africa, by the Cape, was started by 3 penguins that came over from Antarctica.
Really?
Yeah.
On a ship?
I don't know. Like, not by plane, I don't think.
Well, if there's 3 penguins, that's a lot of inbreeding.
I don't think they're very smart.
So your dad was my dad's dad.
Yeah, that family tree is
it's not very wide.
Yeah, there's not a lot of branches on that.
But we couldn't spend 31 hours traveling to come to Cape Town in South Africa and not go to see the penguins.
We saw the penguins.
I have to say, it was a little bit of a letdown for me.
Yeah, a little anticlimactic. They don't really do much.
No, they just stand there, but that's cool. We got to see penguins. I've only ever seen them in the zoo, as you mentioned, and they're little. They're not like emperor penguins. They're little guys.
No.
And yeah, so it's kind of neat. And you know what? If you're coming here, you're gonna do it too.
The drive is beautiful to get here.
Yeah, it's like this beautiful promenade of all of these stores and cafes right along the beach. Is gorgeous.
It's got a European feel. It's European yet like a Caribbean type of feel.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good.
So anyway, that's the Panamera version of
Sweet and sour. You know, we could have spent a lot more time on this. You could talk about this car for about an hour.
Yeah, there's so much stuff.
Yeah.
But we're still talking.
We're still talking, you see? If you like the video, hit the thumbs up, and if you want to see more everyday reviews, hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching.